Okay, resellers, a while back I had shared on my channel 4 unboxing videos from ThredUP that were the 200-pound bulk mixed clothing box. I don't know, you buy it for like $400 and it was really exciting to buy. I bought it in the past, but it had been a really long time. So I did one video per box for you all to see. I got some great comments on some things that maybe I had missed and you're like, you should definitely sell that or whatever. Some things I sent to ThredUP, some things I listed on Poshmark. And so now that I've got a lot of data, because it's been a bit, I wanted to go ahead and share with you kind of the updates. So I don't know that I'm going to do this every single time I get a ThredUP rescue box, but I wanted to prove the point that sometimes if you track these things, you will know exactly if this is a good investment or not. It is really time consuming to track these things, so that's why I don't do it often, and I don't know that I'll do it again in the future, but let me know in the comments below if this is something that you want me to do. If you want me to track every time I do it, I will take a look at those comments and see if it's something I want to do, but I have all of my notes here, so we're going to go over everything money-wise, profits-wise, what sold, how many things, all of it. And then I have some notable sales at the end that I can tell you about. Download your free reseller resource guide today. I constantly update and share with you discounts, favorites, tools, and resources to help you with your reselling business. After the video, click the link in the description and get your totally free guide today. So, it's a 200-pound mixed clothing box. It comes in 4 giant boxes. They are very heavy. So if you are a person that has any kind of mobility issues or you just don't feel like you're that strong, this may not be the right fit for you. They do have smaller sizes. It's just not as good of a value because it's not as bulk, right? So you're getting less items, so the price per item is a little bit higher. But so in total on this, I spent $436.64, and that is for an undisclosed number. Like, you don't know how many items you're going to get. It's just 200 pounds of clothing, 4 boxes of 50 pounds. So I did go through and count, and I received a total of 387 pieces. So that gives you an average cost of $1.13 per piece, which is great. We're talking bins type of stuff. Actually, for me, perhaps even less than bins pricing, because I think my bins prices, I don't know, I haven't been there in months and months and months, but I know the last time I went, I think it was $139, maybe $169, I'm not sure. So it could be better than bins pricing if you're a bins shopper. And just so you know, I think it's $400. Then there's tax, which was about the $26, and then there's like $9.99 or $10 shipping. So that's what the price breakdown was. So what happened when I went through all of those pieces, and you can see that in the unboxing videos that I have on the channel, is that 203 items I put on the side of, I'm going to list this. It's going to go on Poshmark. Whether it goes on my 2 for $30 sale or I put it up for a higher price, I will be listing 203 items myself. Now, then I sent 184 of them back to ThredUP. And I will tell you that this is where there's a problem. So we're going to get to the profits and how much money I made and all of that in a second. But I should not have sent that many items back to ThredUP. And I shouldn't have sent the specific items I sent back to ThredUP. So this is where I kind of went wrong. Since then, I created a ChatGPT custom brand checker for ThredUP that goes in and checks the giant long list of the ThredUP ineligible brands and brings it back really quick. I just tested it out. And it worked really well, and then it kind of had a couple little problems, and then it worked really well. So I'm going to continue to work on this, but this is something that I'm putting in my best value bundle. So if you've purchased my best value bundle, the new ThredUP brand checker, ChatGPT, custom GPT, will be in there for you to use. You don't have to pay any more money. If you've already bought the bundle, you will get it for free. It's in there. If you haven't bought the bundle, you should buy it because I'm going to be putting a lot more things in there, and I am going to be raising the price from $20 to $25. So just keep that in mind, that new stuff is coming and you may want to be in on that, and you may want to use this ThredUP brand checker, because to check that list of ineligible brands is really time consuming. And so this, you just enter the brand and it will tell you, yes, send it, or no, don't send it. Yes, you can get a payout, or no, you can't get a payout. Because ThredUP doesn't give you a payout for everything. And so what I was doing in this box is I was just going off of my mind, not checking. And so I sent a lot of things to ThredUP that they just didn't take. It said it's ineligible for a payout, and I should have listed those. And then maybe there were some that I listed that I should have sent back to ThredUP because I could have gotten a small payout there and it's never going to sell on Poshmark. So now that I've gone through this process once, I'm like, I could totally optimize this way better. And so I created the tool so that can help us. But then also just knowing this situation is a lot better now, because I would send different things to ThredUP and I would send less things to ThredUP. And I don't like sending things to ThredUP. This is purely a liquidation method. Like, I send it to ThredUP because I don't want to list it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to take it to Goodwill. I don't want any part of it. So I send it in a box with no return to me, and it's the cheapest box they offer. And if I make any money, great. And if I don't make any money, fine. But whatever money I do make just kind of helps offset the cost of the box to begin with, and then helps me make more profit on the things that I am selling. So I highly recommend doing both, but I could have done it a little bit better, I am acknowledging. So I spent, what I tell you, $436. So far, I have sold 88 items total. So myself on Poshmark and on ThredUP. So I was tracking both, and actually it was split basically even. So I sold 45 items on Poshmark and I sold 43 items on ThredUP. So like literally one away from being dead even, which is hysterical. So I got almost 400 items and I've sold almost 100. So I'm only a quarter of the way through selling, and I've sold half and half Poshmark and ThredUP. The average ASP between both, so not one or the other, but both, is $8.23. I think you can guess that the ASP is higher on Poshmark than it is on ThredUP, because the kinds of stuff I sent to ThredUP were like lower end things that I didn't want to deal with. And so, that price point that I'm getting ASP is pretty low. I did not figure that out specifically. If I make other videos of this in the future, I will do that, but I did not do it this time. So in total, having an ASP of $8.23 and selling a total of 88 items, my total sales so far, again, I have many things that can still sell, is $724. So I have a total profit right now of $288. So I've almost doubled my money. And my goal for this is $1,000. So I'm almost, a couple hundred away from my goal, which I have no doubt, now that I've seen this traction, I have no doubt that I would reach the $1,000 goal. I want to make you aware of the hottest, the best deal I have ever offered in my Rebecca the Reseller Academy. To find it, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom and you will find this right here. Hot deal, best value, all courses and digital downloads for life. This is it, friends. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm giving you everything I have in my academy, all the digital downloads, all the courses, for just $20. The best part is, if I create a new digital download going forward, you will get it absolutely free. This is the time to lock in the best deal I have ever offered. All you have to do is go to Rebecca the Reseller Academy, scroll down to Hot Deal, and purchase it for $20. If you're wondering what comes in this, it's everything. So you're going to get all of my courses, and you're also going to get all of the digital downloads that I've created, including my keywords list, my listing forms, my Poshmark closet signs. Everything that I have created and everything that I ever will create will be yours for literally $20. So if you can turn 400 into 1,000, I think that's good. Like, I feel like that's reasonable. That's more than double your money. And who knows, it could go higher than that, because again, I'm only a quarter of the way sold. So I think that's really good. Some notable sales that I wanted to go over just so you get a feel for like what kinds of things we're selling. And if you watched the unboxings, then you might remember some of these really good items. So the first thing to sell was on Poshmark, and it was the pair of leather pants, which I can't remember the brand now, but it was 100% genuine leather. They were size 10. It wasn't a great brand, but it was like some kind of house brand, I think. And they sold for, I think, probably $50 or whatever. And so I'm just telling earnings. So after Poshmark's fees and shipping discounts, I got earnings of, and that's earnings. So everything is earnings, not sales in my totals. So the leather pants sold and I had earnings of $37.98. So it was a $1.13 item and I got $37 back. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Now, obviously they're not all going to be that way, but that's the best sale that I had so far. The next sale that I had on Poshmark was a cashmere wrap. And I don't remember the brand on that, but I got $21.38 in earnings. So that was really good. A random silence and noise top sold, I think for $30. And so I got $22.48. That's amazing. That was really good. Then I had a bundle sell of 2 of the items from Old Navy. That was like a nursing bra and nursing top. And so the 2 of them together brought in earnings of $21.68 because it sold on my 2 for $30 sale. So the earnings off of that is $21.68 divided by 2 items. I think it's like $10.80 something cents. So that's still pretty good. And like, it just shows you like random things like that, like a nursing top or a nursing bra. A lot of these things were new with tags, but like you might say no to those. I know I would have said no to those in the past and they sold. But my risk was so low because I ordered these boxes. It took me 2 seconds. I sorted through them. It doesn't take that long. And then, you go go through and list everything, but you have to list stuff anyway. So the idea is that you just get good at sorting, like what is the best stuff. And so this is something I would have said no to before, but because I'm trying to test out new things and experiment new stuff on my 2 for $30 sale, I thought those were really winning things. So those were some of the more notable Poshmark sales. I'm like shaking everything. Then on ThredUP, I had an Aviator Nation pair of pants, sweatshirt, I don't remember, hoodie, whatever, something from Aviator Nation, which used to be a great seller. And then I was kind of like, a lot of the things that I had in the past were sitting. And usually what happens is like Poshmark's more fashion forward, but I find things on ThredUP sell even if they're not selling on Poshmark. So like if a brand has kind of had its day and it's kind of on the way out, there are still people that are behind the 8 ball that will buy on ThredUP that, so you can still sell a brand on ThredUP. So if it's kind of over on Poshmark, you still could sell it on ThredUP sometimes. So anyway, the Aviator Nation, I forget what kind of item it was, but it sold for $28.33 and it was flawed. Either like the drawstring was missing or it had a stain. Like I don't remember what it was, but it was flawed in some way. It was Aviator Nation, and I knew I didn't want to sell it on Poshmark, and it sold on ThredUp, and I got $28 for it. So I'm like, yes, please. Then there was some like snow puffer jacket from the brand Sam, S-A-M, I don't know. And so that sold for $32.30. So I was like, yay, that's great. Because I was just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this stupid puffy jacket. And I got $32 for it. So I'm like, okay, yes. So in general, I would totally do this again. I think I will definitely get rescue boxes, the bulk clothing, 200 pounds again from time to time. Like I cannot completely clutter my entire Poshmark existence with this, but I do think that unless you get a real dud, there's so much in there from so many varieties of things that you're almost all but guaranteed to make money. It's very possible that you could make all the wrong choices and choose to list awful stuff and then send to ThredUp the good stuff and then like not make money on it. But I feel like that would be really hard to do. Like you'd probably have to be a really terrible reseller to lose money on a ThredUp rescue box like this. I mean, again, I haven't done one of these in a while, but I feel based on just the traction that I've gotten in that I'm only a quarter of the way sold, I'm already into profit, there have been some significant sales, the price point is so low, your COGS are so low that like, I think I think it's kind of a no-brainer. Again, I don't think that you should only source via ThredUP rescue boxes because I do think it's risky. You don't know what you're going to get. You do get a lot of nonsense in there, a lot of nonsense that you have to sift through. And that decision making is difficult to do sometimes. So I do feel like this is a supplement. This is like a one box every, it comes in 4 boxes, but like one 200-pound order every quarter or one 200-pound order every month, depending on how much you're listing. This is a nice bulk ad that you can just kind of like dump into your store. It's not something that you can completely rely on to be your everything, but I think it's a really great way to keep the cycle of the clothing going too, because people send it into ThredUp. They don't want to sell it for whatever reason. Now they've given it to me. I get it at such a great price point. I give it another life by selling it. Then I send some stuff back to them. Then they sift through that again. They're probably going to shove it in another person's box if they don't want it. So like, it just keeps them going. And I think that's good because eventually somebody will want it and do something with it, and that's great. So anyway, I just wanted to share the update with you guys on it. Let me know what you think about it. Like, do you think that you wouldn't do this? Like, do you think making $724 so far, 25% of the way sold on a $400 investment, would you do this? Do you think this is a good investment? Would you do it? So let me know in the comments. I'm really curious what you guys are thinking about it, if I should keep tracking, and yeah, what you think about all that. So I will see you in the next video. Bye! Poshmark VA is a tax-deductible business investment that pays for itself many times over each month. It increases Poshmark sales because it shares and sends offers more than I ever could manually. It handles all my shares, automatic offer to likers, bulk offers, and it can do price drops and relists. When my coaching clients add Poshmark VA, it makes more sales basically immediately. The best part is that you get your time back. More time with family, thrifting, whatever. Get 20% off with code Rebecca the Reseller and the link below.